Tide. Like a silence that doesn't DPS, then it doesn't for his Kraken shell.
Oh. Ooh.
Dro has always historically been a very nice counter to the Tide. And we saw it yesterday. When they beat Fnatic, this was a very similar lineup.
Yeah.
You switch the Razor for an OD, and I think this is better because I think OD is a very slow hero as well. Because OD just farm. You just kind of hit creep. Oh.
Big blast coming in. Benrir.
Okay, if Death actually grabbed that.
Stack Sylar last second.
Can you imagine if Death got that?
What do you feel about the rest of the lineup? Like, how do you feel about the Razor, for example? You say it's better than the OD.
Yeah, because it's just faster. As a hero, like it can do stuff in the mid game, and that's going to be really important.
William, you're putting a lot of emphasis on being zoom fast. Why doesn't everybody just play fast Dota? Why does anybody choose long cooldowns? Why don't you just go?
Here's the cool thing about Dota is that the meta, like the way that it works is like teams will play very quick, and then you'll have one team play slightly slower. Have a little bit better,
greedier.
Yeah, slightly greedier, and then one guy picks up a Midas, then all of a sudden 8 people have Midases. Like that's the interesting thing is that it almost it comes back around on itself, if that makes sense. Because once you start to punish the greed,
once it's 8 Midases, then all of a sudden somebody's like, "We're gonna end the game in 20 minutes. Go."
Yeah, that's how things historically work out.
And then people start speeding up.
Yeah, we try to eke out these little economic edges on people when it comes to Dota, but at some point, you're gonna get punished.
So you're feeling pretty good about complexity's chances here. And
this is their best strategy, in my opinion.
Okay.
The Dro one. This is like akin to remember when old VP, the one with Lil and FNG, they would do the Dro Visage, try to win in 30.
Oh, Z-Freak, stop it. That is 7 stacks on Mushi's Razor at mid. Z-Freak, the support Bat Rider. I mean, you're free to just kind of like keep running at the enemy. You don't have to worry about CSing. So poor Mushi, he's been out of the lane for like a solid 30 seconds. Bobica's had to take all the CS.
Quarter. And he has 0 CS so far. He continues to have 0. He's got 1. No.
Oh,
that's still
Z-Freak and Limp. Oh, this is a nice little tag team they're bringing.
He's got this one. He's got this one. Oh, no. All right. Surely he gets one by 2 minutes.
Come on, Mushi. You can do it, buddy. You had so much farm last game. Look at Bobica taking a lot of damage
now
here.
He's got one. There you go. First one of the game is the hardest cap. Once you get that one, everything becomes...
You start getting to the groove.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, no.
Oh, no. It's not. He's not in the groove.
Dude,
he's not in the groove.
All right, just breathe deep. Breathe deep. You got it. You got it. He's got 2 now. He's got 2. He's good. He's good. All right, I got too hyper about that.
We can go away from that mid lane. We've got Tidehunter versus Lone Druid in the top lane. That's gotta be okay for Tidehunter. I mean, it's better than matching up against like Dro Ranger in phase.
Yeah, the good news is, I mean, you nullify the damage of the bear. The bad news is the Lone Druid doesn't really care. I'd say historically, like the main reason though that Lone Druid isn't picked more is because it's just got an awkward timing window. His team fight is kind of meh, but you can counterbalance that by making him real strong with the Dro.
I mean, they're already planning on going that range for him, and then we're facing up into the Razor now, which incentivizes the range form even more.
Did they last pick Dro, right?
Yeah.
I really feel like that should have been banned. Yeah. They saw what happened yesterday when they picked when Fnatic picked Tide into this.
Kyle and Nahaz gave very dramatic reactions
to that
pickup. Benrir needs a bit of heal, and he'll give it to himself off the Soul Rip. And K.
Kyle's just kind of like a dramatic dude.
I like how you said Kyle is a dramatic dude.
He is.
Like Nahaz isn't dramatic.
Nahaz makes Kyle look like LeVar Burton. Just a really reasonable, calm guy. Kyle is the king of sweeping statements.
I swear, them paneling together is like my favorite thing not to be a part of, but still watch, Like, I don't want to be there, but it's fun watching it happen.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
One bear has been killed.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Those pandas, man, there's not a lot of them, from what I'm told.
Continuing with the dual lane mid meta. And we have 19-5 on Limp, and an update on Mushi's score, 11-0. So he's gotten a lot of CS since we were hyping his first 2, but still not enough to catch up to Deathprop.
I just enjoyed watching that. That was funny. I wasn't trying to play Mushi or anything.
I like XXS's early item choice against the Lone Druid. This is a great way to keep the sustain. He goes for a very fast Morbid Mask. No boots, no nothing. No stat item.
Morbid Mask with your Anchor Smash. It's quite nice, right?
Yeah, you just free lifesteal. It's like playing Chaos Knight.
Plus the Soul Ring.
Free sustain.
I think what's really curious here, not curious, but should be mentioned, by the way, is that he has a very free way to just skip the creep wave.
Yeah.
And he's not doing so.
He's not doing it. Why is that?
I would imagine it's because he feels like he can pressure Miracle. Like he can maybe get some denies. The only time you do it,
one bear. That's 300 gold. That's a whole creep wave.
I think the only time you ever skip the wave is when you just, you can't trade against the enemy carry. And so you want to force him away, right? I mean, as an offlaner, getting free farm when you're allowing complete free farm on the side of Miracle too, it probably doesn't trade out very evenly, right?
Yeah. I think at this point, like once the bear gets strong enough that the Anchor Smash is no longer having an impact, and I'm gonna guess level 5 is about that time. I would guess XXS starts pulling. You're no longer you're not gonna stop at CS, and you're probably not killing the bear.
Yeah, but like if you notice, the Lone Druid only has 25 CS. So, you've denied him a good amount, whereas you have 31. You have 5 denies on the side of the Tidehunter. It's better than just giving him absolute free farm. Because the best part about it, too, is that Lone Druid doesn't care if you cut the wave.
Shackles in the bottom lane. Bulbaca snuck in on death. Right behind him, they're going to be able to get the spin to finish him off. That's going to be first blood. A late first blood. Past the 5-minute mark, it goes to Sylar.
And this is really the only lane I think they feel like they can get an easy kill on, because they know the Bad Riders primarily played around this mid area.
A solo smoke up from Z-Freak. So what's he going to do with this? He's got 3 different wards. And
this is just an awkward move, potentially.
Yeah, how does a Bat Rider kill the Razor in this situation?
Well, this is going to make it easier. I mean, he's thinking about going bottom.
Oh, look at him. He just pinged it over and over again. They have vision over there, and they saw the Invis Rune just disappeared. So they know the Bat Rider was probably smoked, and they know now that he's Invis.
Someone is invisible.
Look at this. Death is just charging at this Undying. A 1-second stun. They're going to be able to fly over him with that Firefly. But heals from Undying are not enough.
See, now they pulled away. Because, I mean, the Jug's not really harassable.
Yeah.
So, whatever. Do it.
Bulbaca. Not sure what he's doing around here.
Limp is
hanging out,
having a good time right now.
Yeah.
36 CS to 21. Of course, this is forgivable largely because of the dueling that was against Mushi for quite some time. So if people are just tuning in right now and saying, oh, Mushi's getting wrecked, there's context added, you guys.
I mean, they were talking about on the panel that there was a possibility of Limp asking for Bat Rider mid, because Bat Rider does beat Razor in mid ever so slightly, and we'll see that the support Bat Rider also has a significant impact.
I'd say the best part about doing this too, dueling against this Razor, is that Razor doesn't have the best comeback mechanics either.
Omni slash bottom lane, and 343 is actually still alive. The spin, is he going to be able to catch up? Yeah, he does.
Should he have just ran to the left?
Yeah, I think so. I think he was...
I feel like going for the tree line made it harder for him to live. They might just get Bulbaca here though. Nice silence.
Yeah. So now 2-2.
Z-Freak's pretty farmed.
Despite the dominance of Limp's mid lane, Juggernaut as well as Tidehunter are the top 2 CS, and that's why Aster actually have a slight net worth lead right now.
Again, the Tidehunter, the decision not to go for the pull has paid off.
All good things.
Cap.
A little bit of sacking action in the jungle for Z-Freak. Presuming that's going to be his way to boost himself up to level 6, 7.
They need to help this Razor out, though. Without the ability to flash farm, Razor is a hero that largely relies on this mid lane going a lot better than it is right now. Give him some mana. There you go.
Damage free. Go. Heat Freak. I thought he was going to go steal some CS, but actually he's going to head up to the top lane, see if they can catch XXS. Not expecting this kind of rotation. He does have the Ravage, but it's been silenced up. He's going to pop it now and will be able to get away. And honestly, compLexity, I don't think they expected much else. Probably weren't thinking they were going to get the kill, but forcing out the Ravage is good enough.
Yeah, that's a solid win. And now, this is where Trust at. You have 140 seconds on the table for the Ravage. 150, actually.
Where do you go with that?
You can do whatever you want. I'd like them to... The problem with playing against Juggernaut and why it's such a popular hero is that you can't really assault his safe lane. Like, you don't feel good about doing it because the kill opportunity is kind of low. That's why, for example, when heroes like Sylar into the meta, they're really into the meta because these are heroes that you just can't contest.
They've got the combination of you can't kill them, and you can't really harass them out of lane either, because Jug has the sustain of his healing ward.
Exactly, and so what your options are a little bit more limited, I think, and as a result, I like them to probably play a little bit more mid-centric.
Okay.
Because I think that Aster's lineup...
Slash, that's going to be able to bounce over to Death, who pops the Phantasm now to be able to split a lot of the damage now. They can still try and run down Death as Sylar is going to stick onto him with the Blade Fury, but not enough damage, it seems. Death, tanky Chaos Knight will be okay for now. The 10-minute bounty runes, but they're not going to give this up so easy, it seems. Bulbika does manage to get the Hex on the 3-4-3. Mushi's going to come charging forward. Death is going to be forced away, but now here's Limp on the high ground. Does manage to get the silence. They kill the healing ward, but it is enough. Aster still control the field and will be able to get these 2 bounties. Meanwhile, Miracle does manage to get the rest of them. They're trying to chase Mushi still, but I don't think this is a fight they can really take.
No, this is probably kind of a bad idea to continue to go up into there. The shrine is down, but I think they have pretty limited knowledge.
Let me just say, one of my pet peeves with Dota, why does the Lone Druid Bear get to pick up bounty?
It's got pause.
That one triggers me a whole lot. Because if that was a situation where Aster could have actually gotten all 4 of the bounties, because the Tidehunter is controlling that top lane by himself, but the Bear just sneaks around him, roars, grabs both bounties.
It's Yogi Bear, you know, hey boo boo.
Hey boo boo.
He's got a mind of his own. He's so good.
Gotta go get
He deserves one.
This picnic basket of bounty room.
That was well done. I commend that one.
We see the 125 attack range.
Oh, I would have really liked for compLexity to make a move down mid, but they did in game 1. Because look
Like,
what happens.
how is that structured though? Because isn't mid kind of hard to just like go straight up and kill it? Like, do you want to bring the Lone Druid into mid lane?
Yeah,
do you think?
just bring everybody in.
Okay.
Bring the crew.
Bring the whole squad?
Yeah.
Squad up?
Bring the ruckus. Because I don't think you're taking top tower, and bottom, as we just previously discussed, seems really hard. But now the timing of it is a bit off, because the Tide has Ravage again, and he's so farmed. What is this? He's almost got a Blink Dagger. But again, it's...
yeah, I don't know. compLexity, they really going to be able to take some of these outer towers if they have this fast of a Blink Dagger
I think
on
they're
Tidehunter?
playing maybe a little bit too passively right now.
You said the whole point of this lineup was to be able to play fast.
That's what they did against Fnatic yesterday.
Bulbika is going to run into the smoke of 3-4-3 Z-Freak.
I don't know if he needed to...
No, but I think 3-4-3 expected just more heroes. It was one of those, the smoke's popped, throw it out there.
Just in case.
And it's only Bulb.
Rough.
Blink Dagger flying out for XXS. At least they'll know about it. They'll know that there's the superior team fight.
And his mana pool is really bad, huh?
At the same time, like, can anyone else really stand to the Lone Druid push besides Tidehunter? He's kind of still stuck in this lane. If he wants to protect the tower anyway.
I think it's all on him. The thing is, don't you just... I feel like you bring heroes here right now.
If you're Aster, right?
Yeah.
You take the fight up to this Lone Druid, and there goes the Ravage. They're going to be able to catch Z-Freak here. And, oh, man.
Imagine if he got stuck.
Yeah, just stay on the high ground, right?
If he stays on the high ground there, you use TP on Jug. Well worth death.
Yep.
IMO. Can you imagine how baller of a play that would be?
Yeah.
You force Ravage
immediately afterwards.
Yeah, you force Ravage plus Jug ult. You got him on top of the cliff.
Bat Rider.
There's no force steps coming, buddy.
Sylar stuck there for 60 seconds. Could have been.
I'd be tilted. 75 seconds. TP's forever. Right, so the pressure's going to come
bottom lane, and Fenrir, he's like, oh boy.
He's fine.
I can just sit here, get a little farm myself. Death immediately tries to charge him down. Mushi's going to be forced to TP over. Z-Freak trying to do, I don't know what, mid lane. It's not going to happen.
Bring people top, friends. Don't let this tower drop. You work so hard for this.
Well, it's going to fall. Limp and 3-4-3 are coming over. And they have the Will-O-Wisp up in 4 seconds. XXS.
The Tide counter!
They silence him.
Dro
Doesn't
don't
matter.
care.
There's no red.
Dro don't care. She's not getting hit by your anchor. Countered.
Bottom lane, Death going for Bulbica here, who did get out the Serpent Wards. Unfortunately, couldn't keep
Oh,
Death
no.
inside of him.
You're going to lose your bottom tier 1 now, too, for this. The pace of the game, Austin Walsh.
At least they haven't lost their mid-tier 1.
Look at that bear. Friendly looking.
What's your favorite bear? Of all the Lone Druid bears.
Definitely the panda. For sure. My family, Grace especially, loves panda.
Oh, I remember we went to the zoo together, right?
Yeah.
San Diego.
My sister cried the first time she saw pandas, so.
It's adorable. Aster,
We're good.
Gonna give up on that safe lane tower and go for the mid lane tier 1.
And this Tidehunter really...
Oh, Bulbica, he just can't get anywhere on the map to lay down
catching any
wards
breaks.
without running into somebody from compLexity and dying. Horrible, tragic death. And that's your 4 position. Meanwhile, 5 position Fenrir is trundling along here without boots.
Bulbica don't care. You saw him last game. Aster's just gonna kind of chill and win this game. Part 2.
Healing ward down. Aster continued to just ignore the Lone Druid push, which is now going to come into the mid tier 1 instead of going for the safe lane tier 2.
Oh, I like this play for them to go for this tier 1. This is what enables your Roshan, as I've said time and time again in our cats.
You think that the mid tier 1 tower is more important than the safe lane tier 2?
Yes.
Yes. Mushi.
100%.
Whoa, there goes Yule Scepter. Yule's going to be able to dodge the bolt, and now the Ravage coming in. Death is going to be hexed up immediately. Bulbica sitting on that high ground nice and pretty. Will-O-Wisp is going to be able to pull back XXS. He can't really get away from all these shots from Miracle and Limb. Maybe the high ground advantage? No, he's still going to fall.
And now you have been drilled, because they will march down your mid tower, which has been denied, and go Roshan. Just go Rosh. They
Just
can't
go
stop you.
Rosh.
What are they going to do?
You know, William, you tell these teams to do a lot of things, but you don't listen to them.
And they did take mid tower.
They did, but they did not Roshan.
I would like them to Rosh.
Also, technically, they didn't take it. Aster took it.
Technicalities.
6,000 gold lead for compLexity. And again, what is a do or die situation?
All right. Sylar's got a Shadow Blade. Huh. That's cool.
You think that's just for him to hunt down Dro Rangers? He's got to get to that back line, right? He's got to catch the lone Druid and Dro.
That's why I said, huh, that's cool. Like in a normal situation, he gets that kill. But he was very unfortunate because the ward was there for like 20 more seconds.
Oh, is there a sentry down or something?
Because compLexity, they had just played this game on the dire side. Cap, they know that people love this triangle.
Yule Scepter for Z-Freak's Bat Rider. Oh, no blink, no drums. Yule Scepter. Sylar. That was a close one. Good call by Sylar. Just to straight up go in and just spin.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? I'm not even going to risk this.
Yeah.
If I'm TPing out anywhere, I should just be safe, just to be safe.
Did he see that Dro Ranger had Shadow Blade? Or was that not picked up yet?
I don't think it was. I think it was just a good
So
call.
again, Sylar just makes a lot of like pretty blind reads.
Yeah.
Just like general knowledge of the game. He doesn't see something directly, he just kind of infers it.
Oh. Interesting.
Try that for
interesting.
Yule Scepter. Mushi's going to be able to get on top of Z-Freak. Mass TP's coming in. The Will-O-Wisp is going to be there as well. compLexity really want to fight this and looking like a good one too as Mushi's already dead and Sylar's saying, no, Bulbica, no, I'm going backwards. Go the other direction, you fool.
Oh, nice though. Sylar dodges the stun with the Shadow Blade. That would have also been his head. Now you go Roshan after you push out top?
I mean, tier 2 is got to do something about that top lane.
You do have to do something about this top lane.
Oh, Fenrir. Don't worry about me, guys. I'll
Can't
take the
even
gank
turn
for you,
around.
XXS.
Can't even turn around. That's how quick he dies. But Roshan would be the next goal for compLexity. It's what enables you to really counter out the tide. Like the counter to these big teamfight spells, these Chronos, Ravages, is always going to be an Aegis, right? Because the Aegis timers, it just owns you. And you get to survive through that big spell one way or another. That'd be a very good way to deal with it.
Really help against the Juggernaut. His
Yeah.
whole plan for these team fights, which is get to the back line, Omni-Slash to the Drow Ranger.
So Cole desperately needs this win, right?
Yeah. I mean, whoever wins this moves on.
I see. As
Z-Freak,
you are dead.
very dead. Dead.
So they have busted out their strat. It's twice now. They might potentially just go 2-0 with it. They're not holding anything back because guess what? You're probably not getting this again.
To be clear, just so everybody knows, yes, Aster is 1 game up right now, but if they end up tying, compLexity will be the team to move on due to the tiebreaker rules, basically because of the fact that they have beaten stronger opponents. They're the team that took games off of NIP.
Fnatic.
Yes. So
Strength of schedule matters. Limp looking for stuff. Instead, team's gonna play around this Roshan area. This is what we wanted them to do, but now Ravage is up. Okay, so don't do that.
yeah, Ravage, Tombstone, there's a lot of great Roshan defending abilities for Aster. So it can't be as simple as just go into Roshan.
No, it's not.
Mushi just found a great pickoff. He can actually get it. 3-4-3 tries to go for the blinding light. Push back, but he just can't get away from Mushi with the Eul Scepter. Meanwhile, careful, Sylar. Oh, they know. Z-Freak, though, has no way to be able to close that gap and catch Sylar.
Limps around the area, but...
I keep forgetting that Z-Freak has Euls and no blink.
It's
I got real excited there for a moment. It's like, he's going to blink catch him.
Man, Mushi is poor.
Try round 2, but this time he's got the whole squad behind him. Look at his TP, 3-4-3. He's like, I'm alive again. No, God, I'm dead. But Z-Freak is going to be able to pull back Sylar. Okay, the Ravage can't go for him. The Ravage is going to be able to catch even the Drow Ranger in the back line. No, that Omni-Slash bounced over the neutrals. It didn't stay on the Lone Druid, but Mushi stayed on the Lone Druid. Unfortunately, couldn't quite kill him. Kills the bear. That still is not enough to be able to kill the Lone Druid. Death, he is staying alive thanks to his armlet. Z-Freak was able to get back. They did not kill as many heroes as I thought they were going to. A bit unfortunate there again with the Omni-Slash bounces. Oh,
that was so unlucky. But what is it that you grab out of this? Because this is the downside now of Tide lineups is, like we talked ad nauseum, is that it's slow. If you're compLexity, I'd like you to make a play now. You know that the giant teamfight spell is down. Even with that, it was only a 2-for-1 trade.
Yeah.
That bodes very well for your team. I feel like you can just go into Roshan now. And I think that somebody from compLexity should be saying, look, we should Rosh. Maybe a DD spawns here, a regen good enough. Just go in there and Rosh. They can't stop you.
Yeah, they're not even waiting for Death to come back alive.
This is what I wanted this to happen like 10 minutes ago because I don't think when Aster has... When Ravage is down, I don't think Aster can fight.
They do have Tombstone up in 5 seconds, and maybe they've just caught Z-Freak. Euls on Euls. And the Hex. Oh, no. Shackles long range from Bulbica. They're going to try and kill him from the high ground here, but Roshan is going to be following, and they just can't get inside of the pit fast enough.
Yes, that was what you wanted to see. If you're a compLexity fan, get the Roshan. The fact that you know that Aster has to play around this timing makes it very predictable what your moves should be.
But we should say, much like an Ursa lineup, right? Drow Ranger lineups need Roshan. This is like just one of the check marks. This is what's supposed to happen in.
Bulbica just dropped his wards.
Yeah, I see what that was. We're going to go back to the replay of that last team fight. We're going to see that Omni-Slash. They saw for a moment, you saw Death like thinking about going onto Sylar. Boy, that Omni-Slash. It went onto the Eul Scepter of the Bat Rider, bounced to the bear, and went all the way to the neutrals.
It's so unlucky. They would have killed like 2 people there.
Yes, they would have killed the Lone Druid, which would have been magnificent.
Then the Roshan attempt is maybe even in Aster's favor. That is so unlucky.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Aster can... It's slow, but they could definitely do Roshan thanks to Gush on Titan. Fortunately, just didn't kill enough heroes, and now it's compLexity who have the advantage. 4-man smoke. They know they've got to keep up the pace here. 5,000 gold lead at 23 minutes is good. But again, it's a Drow Ranger lineup. You got to keep the pace pushed.
Yes. So here's the scary part now for Aster. If you mess up one Ravage fight, you've lost the game. And what's going to happen is you're going to take these Ravage fights in front of your base, which makes it even scarier. Like, compLexity should just continue to play on Aster's side of the map nonstop.
Yeah.
Push the issue. I don't even mind if they went for high ground here potentially. Because if you lose one fight here on Aster, the game's just done.
And similarly, if you're Aster, until you're forced to defend high ground, you want to play on complexity side.
Yeah.
Right.
But complexity is not going to allow that. I think you just allow your two range heroes to hit. One of them has the Aegis, and this makes XSS's job so difficult. Because he doesn't really want to be in this kind of position where it's all in on him to win the team fights.
Yeah.
And it becomes even further complicated by the fact that the Drow, I believe, has a Silver Edge. So the Silver Edge combination silence potentially just blows up the Tidehunter. It's very scary to play around those angles. As they are going to back. They just assess that maybe it's not worth the risk. Fight this second.
Dire are scanning.
Force staff soon. There's the Blink Dagger now for the Bat Rider. That'll make a big difference for the high ground defense as well. If you can actually break the Tidehunter, then lasso him, pull him back, silence. Broken wand. But at the same time, Aster have done a pretty good job keeping their 3 different cores relatively high in net worth, maybe not quite keeping up with the Lone Druid, but Juggernaut at a decent second place, Razor and Tide not too far behind. Ranger. And we do have some accelerating factors. We just hit the level 15 talent for Tidehunter, that big 40% experience gain. He win one team fight with that Tidehunter now. He's going to boost himself up to level 20. They're smoked up right now behind Mushi. compLexity did see the smoke break on Mushi. They know he was a part of it. Pull. Still want to find a way to start a fight. We could be outside of the base, even better. It looks like they are going to be forced to push into that high ground once again. The Siege Wagon is rolling in as well. A little bit of extra helping hand for this push. No glyph either.
Just allow this guy to hit high ground.
Just scare Mushi back, and they will kill the bear. That's
he's got
round
Aegis.
1. Not bothering to summon the new bear just yet. Miracle holding onto that for some reason. Looks like he's going to try and just... For his range form. Oh, the jump in immediate Yule Scepter. What a counter Yule is coming out from Mushi, and they're going to be able to jump with the Omni Slash. Z-Freak's already dead. Miracle, he's going to be able to lose his bear here. So unfortunately, just see a nice jump in with Ravage. They're going to be able to catch the back line, and that Will-O-Wisp isn't going to be able to slow down Aster whatsoever. They're just going to keep spinning on through. Can they catch Miracle? The Temp TP out. Nice stop from Bobica. Right place, right time, TP'd onto the Shrine, and they're going to be able to kill Miracle twice. You said it was scary for Aster. If they lost one fight, they'd lose Rax's, but now compLexity. Oh, Death went back in, took that tier 3.
Well done.
Got away safely.
That was so well done by Mushi. The timing of that, he was so quick. On the uptick, gets the Yules off onto the Bat Rider. That sets up the fight, makes it really hard. And compLexity at that point is like, it's a 4-on-5, we have to back out. XXS comes in over the top, lays down the Ravage, makes it very easy for his team to fight. And for some reason, 3 creeps are just stuck here. I'm just trying to look at the ward. Is this a bug?
Yeah, I don't know what's happening there. Mid lane, they are going to try and jump in. Death quickly kills the healing ward with his blink in. Unfortunately, Z-Freak was not able to follow up and catch anybody here. He's going to be able to Yule Scepter, but now they're going into a high ground area. Bobica is ready to defend. And Death popping the Phantasm is going to blink forward, pulls all of his illusions right on top of that Shadow Shaman. He's just going to hold them back for as long as possible to allow his cores to get away.
Man, I still can't believe how quick Mushi was on that Yules.
Yeah, that was sick. The preemptive Yules hit.
That made that fight unwinnable for compLexity at that point. The cool thing about Dota is even if you've got that Aegis, still a 4-on-5 once you lose Z-Freak like that. And the Ravage hits the Drow, they just isolate her. She doesn't have any way for her team to back her up at that point. So well done.
So it looks like the next step for compLexity is BKBs. Building a BKB on the Drow Ranger as well as Miracle's Lone Druid. Considering how slow the Ravage goes out, they really shouldn't have to worry about that team fight ultimate as soon as they have that net.
Once he has BKB, it's easier for them to take these fights. Your margin for error is a lot higher. I think Limp needs one now too, though. I think after he got ravaged in that fight, he probably tells himself, like, there's no way we can fight without me getting a BKB minimum. They probably missed out their timing window with trying to end the game before then, too. And this is very reminiscent of the first game where compLexity, it's like compLexity trying to end the game. Aster's just playing this like bend don't break style where like, okay, you can take our towers, but you know, we'll just hopefully hold our high ground. In both games so far, they're managing that just fine.
Blink Dagger soon for Bobica. That's going to be a great pickup that'll help them get to the back line. That's all I'm thinking about for Aster is like, how do you get on top of that Lone Druid? How do you get on top of the Drow Ranger? You've got the Shadow Blade for the Juggernaut. BKB for the Razor is his next item. That'll allow him to just kind of barrel forward. Won't protect him against that harsh amount of physical damage those two cores put out on the side of compLexity, but will help him at least get on top of them.
They really don't want to fight on the side of compLexity right now. This DD room might change things, but they're about to get 3 different BKBs. They're about to get one on their Drow. Their CK very nearly has one once he Midases this creep. The Lone Druid just picked up his own, and he's got it bottled up too. I think, I'd imagine that Z-Freak gave him his bottle. Man, that's a really value pickup too. Just having that bottle available on him.
Yeah, I think that was something that definitely changed. Like having the late game bottle, 40 minutes plus. Like
that's an envy thing, right?
Yeah.
It means that this is going to be a really nice timing, actually. They're going to get both the BKBs completed. This is why they're giving Death this lane. It's just 100 gold off. They'll have the DD available too on the Lone Druid. This is going to be really nice timing. Probably their best opportunity of just straight up ending the game. So the other BKB's flying in. They've got the DD, triple BKB. There's really not a better condition here.
So what Aster need is they need to be able to find an initiation that comes and surprises compLexity. They need the old wraparound smoke gang.
This is always the scariest thing about playing against Drow strats, because Drow just hits her aura button, pushes in the lanes. It means that if you lose one fight on the side of Aster, you know, you're being assaulted by 3 different lanes. You have to use you have to use buybacks a little bit more frequently than you'd like. You're always pushed out in front of your base.
Oh, the Drow's actually just got a lot tankier. The level 20 talent, 25% evasion. That's going to be so good against the Omni Slash of the Jug.
Really want to force a fight here. The Lone Druid has still yet to pop the DD. Firefly is used. They know that they're somewhere in their jungle. They might just go in for the Roshan instead, but I think you have to try to secure the fight first, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to go up this high ground by chance. Smoke does end, but unable to find anything, and they really want to use something out of this DD.
Sylar pushes out that bottom lane just a bit, and now racing to join the rest of his team.
That is going down
the
quick.
Potential, oh boy, it is dropping fast. That double damage of the Lone Druid.
That bottle.
There's just too much. It's not going to be fast enough. XXS just now showing himself. The Omni Slash going down, but the Phantasm and Death is able to disjoint all that damage, and now this is a straight up disaster for Aster. They have to back up. Losing only their Shadow Shaman isn't too bad, but
they still have Ravage, but they don't have Omni Slash. They don't have BKB on Razor. This is likely going to mean they're tier 2 mid.
Aegis, Cheese. No Omni Slash. No Tombstone for 40 seconds.
Yeah, you're always playing on the knife's edge against Drow strats when you have these kinds of lineups, where you're so ulti reliant.
Yeah.
And now the Coddle is pinging, saying, coming back, don't worry, guys.
First Z-Freak. He's going to go to the bottom lane, see if he can actually catch Sylar anywhere. Even just stopping his TP could have allowed his team to push high ground with ease, but again, compLexity. I kind of like the fact, I'm going to get a little antsy for compLexity, but I do like the fact that they're not overcorrecting from last game.
Yeah.
You see that sick Phantasm from Death. Wasn't a great target for an Omni Slash anyway, but
Just like the tankiest person on his team. He doesn't care.
That whole fight was already terrible from Aster the moment the Roshan fell. So
they had to get out, but just the way that the fight was positioned at that point, the CK just dove in with his BKB. It's really hard to get away with no casualties.
And that's how you force a fight, like the way Z-Freak tried to last game, right? Where he's thinking we have Aegis and stuff. It doesn't matter how the fight starts as long as it starts.
And that part works when the rest of your team can actually follow up.
Yeah.
When Z-Freak kind of just goes in on a high ground area where no one on his team can follow up.
Except Limp.
Yeah, that's a little bit different. I mean, the Limp was clearly down to fight everything at the last game.
But compLexity are still playing it like pretty conservative. They're not trying to like, oh god, we have to finish the game now, go high ground. You know, they're making sure to control the waves, they're pushing it out, they're getting farm, they're waiting for the BKBs to get the second Roshan.
Yeah, the only
they're
thing
not panicking.
I want from them is to not play too far from each other.
Yeah.
Because what ends up happening is when you have this Aegis, you get really overconfident, thinking like, well, they'll just never fight us.
A pick-off would be killer for
Yes.
compLexity's whole
It slows
idea.
down your timing so much.
Yeah.
So now what you want to do as compLexity is just be smart. Last time you had the Aegis, you didn't get map control first. You took a hasty fight, you lost. This time around, you can scout out, you can take your time. All the lanes are hemmed in.
They had the high ground ward, but there was a sentry there. I'm really confused about that situation. They had a ward sentry, but they didn't kill the sentry that was on the high ground, and so that Juggernaut sitting there with the Shadow Blade to back up.
And it looks like now they're going to go for the high ground with all the lanes dealt with.
Is a great conductor.
A better situation all around, Cap. They have triple BKB.
Yeah.
Their timing's very good. Let's see if Mushi can pull off another magic trick.
First thing first, they need to be able to kill that bear.
Radiant structures are
Fortunately, they got plenty of control and lots of damage from Sylar.
That
He
thing
cuts
just
off the
straight up got
Panther's head.
executed.
But the melee Rax is dropping fast. Wind Miracle is able to hit. There goes the lasso, but then nice Ravage initiation before the BKBs go out, and they just
Death in the
sold all
back
of
line.
Miracle's damage. Look at Mushi just pushing against some of those damage dealers while on the front line. Death just goes straight in, but he's surrounded by these Serpent Wards, and it looks like with the Omni Slash, they're going to be able to take out both him as well as the second bear. Limp being controlled
no,
up by
Limp,
Bulbaca.
you need to get your BKB
Unbelievable.
off.
It looks like Aster's just running over compLexity. Limp is going to be able to get the BKB TP out. Miracle will not be so lucky. He is instantly hexed on his second life by Bulbaca.
Oh,
And Aster once again hold.
I'm not sure why they decided to try to go for the Jug there. He is, without a doubt, the hardest target to kill. Because he's got so many different ways to get out of that engagement.
Yeah.
The Ravage just flies over the top. I'm not sure what compLexity thought was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, XXS, you know, credit to him. He reacted super fast and like instantly blinked in and got up the Ravage as
Yeah,
soon as the
but it
lasso
became
went down.
much
But
easier once the...
yeah, compLexity should have expected that, right?
Once Limp uses BKB after, he had to pop his cheese for that, but you had the majority of the damage.
is under attack.
That was so unfortunate for them. Taking a fight like that, like,
I love the way Mushi played that, though. Just barreled down.
Yes.
Instantly linked Miracle and started putting pressure on the Drone Ranger as well. So those two damage dealers, they were not a part of that fight. At least not where Death was concerned.
Has fallen.
oh man, they lost the gem for that too, right?
Yeah, and now Mushi's got a Shiva's as well, so that's going to be... Now he's physical damage very tanky, as well as has the magic immunity, the BKB.
Man, that was pretty confusing. Like,
Yeah.
there was only one thing that was going to happen there.
Under attack.
Everyone knew it too, is if you grip that Jug, you're going to get ravaged. Like, there's no doubt about it. And the thing too is that the Ravage is, it comes up, it erupts off the ground really slowly. And they weren't even able to kill the Shaman. 'cause
Which is
Death
why it's
used-
so important you need to get as close as possible with that Ravage, because
Yes.
the outer tentacles, they take
They're so
forever.
easy to dodge.
Yeah.
Like you can, if you're real good, you can point blank dodge it with BKB.
Yeah.
But wow, that is. If
Abyssal
compLexity
Blade.
lost this game, that would be, I would just be tilted off the face of the earth. What was our win probability looking like, JJ?
It went up to actually
almost
it was never
75%.
that it was never in that favor
I mean,
of
almost
compLexity.
70. It was like 70%. That's pretty decent.
Yeah.
I mean, I would definitely
if
say
they
the
can
game was
catch
in their
Sylar,
favor.
that would be massive. Z-Freak doesn't have the blink dagger. He got hit by one of the illusions.
I'm not sure if he's your target. You saw what happened last time, and I don't think they burst him down that quickly. If he gets a spin off and he can grab the healing ward down, you've lost the fight at that
Yeah.
point. You
Or even
can't-
just like the Omni Slash, him being invulnerable for that amount of time.
Yeah, it's the turnaround potential's too good. They have to coordinate these fights better. They just on the side of compLexity, it was so chaotic for them. You saw Death go in the back, but he didn't even insta burst the Shaman because he used the stun first, but he only got a 2-second stun. So then when he went for the split, at that point Bulbaca was like, I'm fine. I can disengage off this fight, no problem. I think he
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
just took a little bit too long to kill him there. He wasted his spells before he was able to get the ulti off.
compLexity no longer have the advantage, both the net worth and honestly just the game state. There are too many items coming in for Aster, so they're going to have to get a bit more creative with how they take this next engagement.
Oh.
Aster, meanwhile, just keep doing what you've always been doing. Just chill, baby, chill.
Aster's
Just hanging around each other, farming up neutrals,
Aster
telling
has
stories.
the funniest strat. They're just like, you know what? compLexity's gonna mess up at some point. Like,
Let's be real. We're both tier 2 teams. One of us is going to mess this up.
I've never seen a team so casual about just losing all their tier 2s and saying, yeah, whatever.
You guys will throw it. Don't worry.
We're chill. What's going on? But I think it is also credit for them in how they were able to hold the high ground. They were so clutch. Like Mushi's timing on the Yules, the Ravage to counter as well. Like, it wasn't just compLexity completely throwing. I think that last fight was a little bit rushed, but you know, you can't fault Aster. Like, they played that fight very well, all things considered. I think compLexity just, especially losing game 1 the way that you lose that game, I think it puts you in a state of mind like, we have to end games. Like, we have to, when we have advantages, like, we have to try to end them. Right. And so that probably puts a little bit more pressure on you as a result. And so you start to slip up a little bit here and there.
This one always feels good. The level 25 on Razor, the extra 200 unstable current damage. Now he does 320 damage.
Man, Mushi,
AoE.
what was the score? It's 5-1?
5-1-5.
Beast. Beast is great. Sylar 708.
I mean, these 1 and 2 position, man, they have done so much work for Aster.
Yeah.
It's such a weird game plan because it's so much on them, right? To like find farm, not get picked off, and they've excelled.
Yeah, that's what I said in the last game about the fact that they just need they're a tri-core team, you know? Yeah. Publica's not interested in warding for them. You know what, guys? Deal with it. Figure it out.
Speaking of it, he's building into a 4-staff. And soon, for that 7.5 seconds of Shackles duration. We've already seen struggling to this Shadow Chomp. Any other big upgrades we've seen? We've got the Abyss Blade and the Juggernaut. They're going to be able to kill the Panda Bear here. And they're not messing around whatsoever. They're just going to go straight for Roshan. They lay down Serpent Wards. They've got the Tombstone out.
This
and
is the refresher one?
Yes,
Do
this
not
is the refresher
give
shard.
Tidehunter refresher.
Yeah, this is going to be Z-Freak going in with the BKB. Is going to be able to pull Sylar back up into the high ground. Not quite. Sylar is still going to be caught by the Will-O-Wisp, but they're not going to be able to finish him off. Mushi takes a lot of damage, but he's still alive as well, thanks in part to that healing ward. They have to go back inside the Roshan pit because it's almost dead from all the zombies as well.
Get in there, Death!
Get in! He gets the agent. He gets the refresher shard. He doesn't get the cheese, though. He's going to be controlled up. Fenrir managed to snag away that cheese. That's 1 life for Death. The question is, are compLexity going to try and bail him out, or are they saying,
nah, let him
good
die.
job, buddy. That was a...
You've done it.
That was a sacrificial mission right there.
My guy just walked in, waltzed in carefree, doesn't even care, skips the queue, gets in there, picks up off the ground. That's free.
I have never seen Serpent Wards be a detriment to a team inside the Roshan pit. I mean, the zombies in the Serpent Wards just like casually finished off Roshan for you.
Oh, that is so unfortunate for Aster. I mean, well done by Death. He had his eyes on the prize.
Yeah.
He was not deterred by anything.
Oh, Courier pickoff. Nice catch by Z-Freak.
Okay, and now suddenly compLexity, because of that, are in an okay position. Without Aegis and Cheese and Refresher, or Aegis and Refresher, I should say, because they did get the cheese, this is a much more manageable situation because of the good play by Death.
Apparently Aster just don't even blink. They're like, whatever.
Yeah.
Hostages.
They know Death doesn't have buyback.
And Refresher Shard, we're just going to keep going. Death has no buyback. It's a 4 versus 5. We still have Ravage.
Middle barracks has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under
So they
attack.
take 1 melee Rex, back away.
These Aegises have been really weird.
Yes. We've cast 2 series now where Roshan fights.
Roshan
And
fights,
high ground fights have been real
and
real
Aster
weird.
just resets. They're chill. The game is in their control. It took 44 minutes, but they are up 3K. You don't really have to rush any plays or anything like that, so
No.
they're fine.
We got level 25s coming in for Tidehunter as well as Juggernaut. Juggernaut, you know, he gets the 1 second Omni Slash duration or 600 health. Both are pretty cool, but Tidehunter, man. 250 damage. Or 25% cooldown reduction.
25% CDR is pretty nasty.
It is pretty nasty, but don't you want smash? Really smash? No.
That's true. Very true.
It's right now, it's Anchor Inconvenient Poke. 250 damage.
I see Kyle. Kyle,
Radiant are
can compLexity still win? He said, yeah. They got this. He said he would put his career on the line if compLexity loses this game.
I
He
appreciate
said he will quit live on air. He will throw his stuff at Paul, walk off the stage. 100% compLexity has won.
I appreciate his loyalty to family, his willingness to throw away his job. Heart now for Mushi. Who's got that solar crest? Who's that? Who that? I clicked on Fenrir. It's...
You thought Fenrir had...
I didn't even have to look at his inventory. The moment I clicked on him, I knew it was a mistake.
Fenrir's got a Glimmer Cape, man. That's not nothing.
Fenrir's just hoping he can get to level 20, so his depth is even better for his team.
Haste.
3,000 gold lead for Aster, a 5-man smoke up from compLexity. They've got a lot of ground to run down, though. Smoked inside of their base, making their way through the Radiant jungle, seeing if they can stumble into
Now my enemy
some sort of
fade.
Aster pickoff. I'm not sure if the team is great for them, but
Man, this is rough for Cole. I mean, they haven't straight up lost the game because of that play, but it's not like they won the game off of that play. That's what feels bad. When Death makes a play to steal Aegis plus Refresher Shard, and all it does is give you like a 10% chance. That's rough.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
But who knows? We've seen crazier things in this series.
Aster chilling out. They're just going to take shrines here.
They're just slowing down the pace. They have complete map control. They can do whatever they want.
Are they going to wait for Roche?
Potentially.
Good.
Man, Mushi is strong now. That Midas has paid off. His investment.
compLexity, no, they can't take this straight up 5-on-5. Unfortunately for them, Fenrir throws a ward onto the high ground, and their positioning has now been spoiled. And immediately, look at Aster, they just go straight up to the top lane. They know, hey, you're out of position, compLexity. We're going to go for this top lane of Brax. Silence comes down from the Drow Ranger, tickling Sylar just a bit.
Steady.
But lit those serpent. Whoa, there's the
XXS.
initiation. Z-Freak is going to be able to grab Mushi without his BKB. The Will-O-Wisp is going to be able to contain that command, but now
He's got
it's
a
just
heart.
not enough damage. He's got way too much armor and way too much HP. They couldn't finish him off. The Serpent Wards will be able to take down that melee Rex.
That was most of everything that compLexity's got.
Yes.
They used all their BKBs.
They blew Phantasm there. He does have the Refresher Shard.
That
but
was pretty much everything that you had. You used your Will-O-Wisp, you used your BKBs, all your ultis, and it was on the Razor of all targets. That guy has 3,900 health and something like 38 armor.
great.
He's not dying. And he's when he's nearest tied, it's 44.
Oh, and a double damage for Sylar.
Okay. So you're now going to have to do this with no BKBs. XXS is well aware of this. He can just go in at any time.
From Death, he's going to try and go back to the back line. He managed to get Boba with a 4-second stun, but the Glimmer Cape went out first, so we can't actually see him. Now the Ravage goes down. They managed to get the BKB off and limp, and that is going to be enough. Oh, miracle. He got taken out. Immediately Death is going to buy back here. Nobody from Aster is dead, and they just keep on trying to drag the back of the fountain. Sylar ripping apart heroes with his Omni Slash. Z-Free trying to protect himself with the Yule Scepter. All the way back to fountain he goes, because that is the only refuge they have against the storm that approaches. That is Aster. Another blast coming in. compLexity just going to try and throw their lives forward. Bulbika makes his initiation with the Hex onto Limp. They're going to be able to chain onto him with that static link of Mushi. He just pops his BKB, chases away the Drone Ranger with the rest of his team, deals with the Chaos Knight of Death, who's now dead on a dieback. 110 seconds for him. Sylar spots Limp, reactivates the BKB, trying to get back to the fountain, but now surrounded by Serpent Wards. He's going to have to get his way out of those Serpent Wards and back to the fountain again. And it's still a 2 versus 5. Aster are super healthy, and sure enough, compLexity will call it here. GG. Aster will be moving forward. compLexity knocked out here in the group stage.
Well done. In both games, they just hold out. They were down in both games in net worth at some point early on. Said, it's okay, compLexity will have to come into us eventually. They just held the high ground. And if you're compLexity, this is a disappointing way to lose both of these games.
I mean, you could see, like, it was very easy to see ways that compLexity can win. And game 2, they're up. If they just play clean enough, they can close out the game. Aster, props to them there, man, on the patience and just being able to just wait it out.
Yeah, I think both games, it was like, it's just disappointing sometimes to watch compLexity like play, because they put themselves in these positions where you're like, man, they're doing the right things. They have this strategy that is proven for them. It's working out. And then it just feels like they get lost at some point, or they get impatient.
Yeah.
That was the name of the game for me today. It was patience. Aster was very patient. Like, we don't have to make any moves. You'll eventually have to come into our high ground, and we'll just play these fights perfect.
Juggernaut! Juggernaut! Juggernaut!